I do a lot of assessments every week, every month, every year, several hundred through the year, and several thousand over my time doing this. And one of the questions I get reoccurring is when you walk into a house, how can you tell whether or not there's too much moisture in the home? And there's two ways to do it. One is it's like walking into the state of Mississippi. There's just really, you could feel the humidity. You can get out your meters, you can measure it, but in general, it's a pretty easy thing of whether or not you're comfortable or not with the humidity that's present. The first thing is the feel. The second is that when you go through the house, you always start in the basement. And when you go in the basement and you look at the foundation walls and you look at the flooring and you look at the sump pump system and you look at the overhead floor joists for mold growth, you can pretty quickly determine that you have a moisture issue. As part of the symptoms of my inspections, when you look on the floor decking between the floor joists, I always look to see if the nails are rusted. I've been in 100-year-old houses and the nails are bright and shiny. So if you have elevated humidity, it's going to be just condensation on the nail heads and you're going to have rusting. That's the first thing. The second is when you go upstairs and you start looking at your content, always remember the canary in the room is varnished surfaces, has a lot of oil on it, varnish does. The other is leather boots, leather jackets, gun stocks, the metal on the gun will rust. These are symptoms that you're looking for. And the leather and the varnish, that's the first place you go. Then I always suggest to people when I teach them how to do these things, go to the kitchen table, get on your back and look up because the kitchen table normally has this supporting ring around it. And that's like an upside down bowl. And you may not see mold on the floor, the chair legs, but when you get underneath, that air's not moving and you'll have growth underneath the table. That tells you that you have an issue. If you have too much humidity in house, man, I always make a beeline to the attic and make sure that everything is done correctly. I tell people you cannot be an indoor air quality consultant unless you're extremely well versed in understanding attics. In a future presentation clip, I'll be talking in many chapters about the ventilation of attics because there's so much nuances. There's so much building materials that you need to understand if you want to do this. If you don't understand the attic and how it breathes and helps the home be safe to live in, you need to get on the learning curve for this. Bob Bennett, Farsight Management. It's better to use Farsight than hindsight.